All right, this is
Meanwhile,
still
the
the combined 10,000 meter run. We had some technical issues with the camera, where camera controls froze on me. We are still about 3 minutes into this race.
That group continues to roll along.
And here are our lead men with our rabbit out in front.
Approaching 1,200 meters. We have Tim Gill, Thomas Toth, Lachlan Wellington, Jordan Brennan.
Right, it's Gill, Toth, and Wellington following the rabbit 3:35 to 1,200 meters.
And our chase pack, we have
30-minute pace.
Kevin Green, former Battle Road Track Club runner, followed by John Prizzi, another former Battle Road Track Club runner. Here is our lead woman runner, Jamie Lord.
Jamie Lord running with her personal pacer, Colin Smith. Two teammates from RPI. And now Battle Road.
Jamie Lord, women's leader, 22 laps to go, 4:24.
Second place woman is
holding
Riley
on to that
McMahon
pace just under
Battle
90
Road,
seconds a lap.
running with Lucas Estrada.
Here come our lead men around the home straight. Looks like we have the rabbit, followed by a strung out pack.
4:46, 4:47 for Estremera, the rabbit. 72 pace would be 4:48.
Which comes right down to 30 flat in the 10K. They're going right on that 30-minute barrier.
So Ernie, you're a 10K runner. What can you tell me about this race?
It is grueling. Yeah, if you have a rabbit, you are in much better shape than otherwise. It's so helpful having somebody take the lead for this race for you.
Yeah, I guess you want to turn your brain off for most of the race, not think about it too much.
That is true.
Just let your body...
Yeah, you do not want to be thinking... Yeah, you want to just be relaxed, just stay on the pacing without having to think about the pacing, click off those laps and just...
Women's leader from the Battle Road Track Club, Jamie Lord, continuing to lead 4 laps, 1,600 meters, 5:51. Here comes the men's leaders through 5 laps, 2 kilometers, 5:57, 5:58. Just shading under 30-minute pace for the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, are the first 24 laps just kind of the warm-up, or how does this work?
You might. Sometimes that is the case. I think it depends who you have. If you have enough competitors going the same pace, you can think of it that way. But by the time you get to at the very, about halfway, it doesn't really feel like a warm up. You're really generally starting to hurt if you're going at a pace that's close to what a target pace for yourself.
Yeah. Well, the U.S. 10K trials for the upcoming World Championships were last weekend at the Pre-Classic. There were 2 pretty exciting races for men and women, run completely differently, where the men just had a jog fest for 24 laps until they ran about 50 seconds to kick it in. And the women's race was broken open at halfway.
Yeah, there's lots of different ways to run a 10K.
6 laps for Estremera, continuing to lead as the Rabbits, 7:09, 7:10. 7:12 would be 30-minute pace. And 2 kilometers for Jamie Lord from Battle Road, 7:20 on the nose. That is 36:40 pace for the entire distance.
It's quite nice weather out for a 10K right now. The wind has completely died down. If you actually, when the runners come around, I'll show us the flag poles, and we'll see that those flags are barely moving.
Yeah, it is. It's quite a nice evening. There is a water stop set up on the back straight for anyone who needs it.
I didn't even notice that.
I have a feeling the runners
Here, let's
will be
pan
able
over to the water
get
stop.
through
There it
without
is.
needing refreshment.
I do not think they'll need a water stop tonight. It is
Mr. Mera continuing to lead as the Rabbit from Gill,
mid 60 degrees. Like,
the top seed.
Lachlan Wellington.
7 laps down.
On Tim Gill.
18 to go. Gill and Wellington, a little separation now.
let's put over to the men's leaders.
Yeah,
See.
this
20.
men's race has broken open now.
So we have we still have the Rabbit, followed by Tim Gill, and I'm sorry, who was our second place?
Lachlan Wellington.
Wellington. So we have
He's
Gill and
actually
Wellington.
the top seed in this one.
Ah,
Entered at 29:20.
that is quick.
Women's
That's
leader,
quite a bit
Jamie
faster
Lord,
than the pace they're going right now.
8:48.
Right, they're going on 30 flat pace. Clicking them off.
Through 6 laps.
Very good rabbiting so far.
Yeah.
Quite the work at coming back from the steeple. Led the steeple, leading the 10K. You know, we were talking a little earlier
The
about
men's lead group is now approaching. 17 to go, 8 laps into the race.
you know, we were talking earlier about how you wanted to turn off your
9 minutes
mind,
31,
just
9
click
minutes
off
32,
the,
9:36.
let someone else do all the
30-minute
work. It reminds me of a 10K I once did where somebody just started yelling at their teammate. Somebody's teammate was around me, and their teammate was yelling at them to just random animal facts. Like the honeybee's internal temperature is 100 degrees or whatever. I don't remember the exact fact, but like a fox does whatever. And it was actually quite nice. It was something to take my every lap. I had like a cool fact to take my mind off the running for a little bit.
Yeah, that's it's good to get distracted from the pain of the race.
Go,
Yeah.
Jamie
From
Lord,
the monotony of
10:17.
25 laps.
It is a long time to be out on the track. That is for sure.
Men's leaders have passed by 3K. I wish I could tell you what it was.
I tend to focus too much on the clock, on the time, on the splits, and I almost distract myself by
Yeah,
doing mental
it's
math.
so much. Yeah, so that's one way. I mean, if you're by yourself, you kind of have to do that. But if you're with
Mr.
people,
Mera continuing to lead.
so
9
much
laps
better
down,
to just
16
tuck
to go
in behind
for
somebody
the
and
men's leaders,
try to just race it.
Gill and Wellington.
Yeah, I've only run 10K road races in cross country, which is more fun with the variation in terrain. And
Yep.
for those kind of races, you have to be more mentally
Lord has
there, I
a
think.
more than comfortable lead in the women's race. Almost 100 meters at this point.
Let's pan over to our women's leader. It is just Jamie and Colin pacing her. Comfortably in the lead.
Yeah, Jamie's coming off a great race in the Boston Marathon.
Coming up on 17 laps to go for Jamie Lord, Battle Road Track Club. She's 8 laps down. And she is at 11 minutes 47:48. Meanwhile, the lead men. 4K, 11:55.
Here are our
The
lead
time
men.
in between 30:50 and 29:50 and 30 minutes for the whole thing.
Rabbit, followed by Gill, followed by
10
Wellington.
laps, 15 to go.
As they
Race is not over by any means,
lap
but they are
Jamie
rolling
the
right
second
along.
time. You know, this is a tough pace to rabbit. It is a long way to go, and it's not an easy pace. Essentially soloing, like leading a 5K at 15 flat pace.
Yeah, I don't know what
Mr.
Estremera's
Merritt continuing to do
PR
yeoman
is,
work
but
here,
it's probably
rabbiting these
a
two
bit
guys.
faster than 15 minutes. But
Yeah, that's true.
even then, it's
Still,
not
it's
so
still,
easy to
yeah, it's still a
run
hard.
within that close to your PR.
That is 11 laps for them, 14 to go.
Yeah, Jamie is nowhere to be found. Riley McMahon.
It appears our previous woman leader has dropped off the track. Now,
Riley McMahon,
Riley
now leading the
McMahon
women's
is
race.
our women's leader. Here is our men's leader. It looks like the Rabbit
12
is
laps
pulling
in.
ahead.
Estremera's had enough.
And he
14-16.
drops off.
Great job by him. It's up to Wellington and Gill to get it done the rest of the way.
3 miles Rabbit, very strong.
Lead men will be hitting the halfway mark in the
Wellington
back
takes
corner
over.
of the track. 5K for Wellington, now leading 14:53.
Comfortably under that 30-minute barrier.
You do the math on the whole thing.
Or at least that pace for the 30-minute barrier, excuse me.
Yeah, a lot can happen in the second
Yeah,
half
they
of
do
this
have
race.
they have 5K more to go, and they no longer have a Rabbit.
At least they've got each other.
They do have each other. And there's Wellington right now in the lead.
And
they have plenty of there are runners to lap actually,
Yeah.
which actually, as they lap
Riley
some
McMahon
right
from
now,
Battle Road
that
now
does
leading the
keep them
women's
going. It's like, oh, one more. It gives them a target to chase after each every so often. It's like, oh, there's another
12
target
laps to
try
go
to
for
catch.
the lead men.
Yeah, at the first Twilight meet, our 800-meter specialist, Ari, was asking me about lapping runners and whether that helped you in a distance race. And I suppose I have not been in such a position to be lapping so many people around the track in a race. But
That's what you said you never run a 10K before.
yeah.
Just put yourself in a 10K, and there's always people everywhere.
Wellington and Gill continuing 1 and 2. Riley McMahon continuing to lead the women's race. Eleven to go for the men's leaders, and they are lapping a lot of people at this point. 11 to go.
Now, this is definitely where the race gets concerning when you're in it. You're just pushing along, but it's not. You're hurting a lot at this point,
Riley McMahon continuing to lead the women's race.
and you're just hanging on.
Yeah, it's a long way to hang on.
I could see. I wonder what both Wellington and Gill are thinking right now. They. It's possible. I know Wellington was seated at 29:20, so it's possible this pace is a little more comfortable for him. I don't know what either of their PRs are, but regardless, they're still a ways in, and they got to be feeling at this point.
Definitely. It would be great to go inside the heads of these runners when they're deep in the race.
Yeah, what are they thinking? Is Gill thinking, all right, you got this. Gill thinking, oh, I should take over the lead right now, or is he thinking
Wellington
just gotta
followed by
stay
Gill
here?
from Battle Road.
he looks pretty comfortable right now.
10 to go.
They both look a bit comfortable, actually.
6 kilometers, 17:57. Still just inside that 30-minute pace.
So they slow down a bit from the 5K. If they continue the pace they've been running for the past K, they will. That's probably why they look so comfortable right now. Is they slowed it down a little bit. Yeah, they're still. If you average the whole thing, they're still under 30-minute pace, but that last K was maybe a 3:03, I think. 3:04.
One more lap down for Riley McMahon, leading the women's race for Battle Road.
But if they do, feel good right now, maybe they'll be able to pick it back up again in a little bit.
Yeah, how much room do you think there is in the 10K to have kind of a second wind, or maybe to fall off the pace a little bit and get back on?
So these guys, you can expect them to. So one thing is, depending on how they feel,
for the men's
they
leaders,
can run pretty close to 60
19:12
in that last
half
400.
hour pace. 19:11
which
for Wellington.
gives them a little bit of wiggle room at the end to catch back. If they're averaging 72s and they run a 62 last 400, they gain 10 seconds there. However, they have to be feeling well enough to do a 62 last bit, and they can't leave themselves too much. If they get 15 seconds behind, they're definitely not getting it.
Riley McMahon through the halfway point of this race.
When we get down to it, we'll see how well they close. But it's not uncommon when they're, in a race like this to have quite a big difference between your average pace and that last lap. But we just have a new leader. Gil just took over the lead from Wellington.
Yeah.
Looks like they're sharing the pacing duties a little bit.
If my eyes are correct, I think that was about a 75 or a 76 for that.
All right, so it's
last
possible
lap.
Gil is saying, you know what, I really want to break 30, and this is a little too slow for me. So he wants to pick it up, help out with the spacing.
Gil has now taken over the lead from Wellington. They continue to lap runners.
All right, I'm going to
And that is 17
pan us over to
down.
the women's leader.
8 to go.
Yeah, let's check in on Riley. She's going down the back straight.
The back
right
stretch.
now.
There she is.
I believe she's on lap 14.
14. Yeah, hopefully we have good lap counters at the finish line, keeping track of everyone.
Gil and Wellington approaching 7,000 meters, 7K, 3K
And over
to
here
go.
is John
21
Prizzi,
minutes is half hour pace,
former
21:02.
Battle Road runner, now runs for Heartbeat, lives in Connecticut.
Now running just outside
He
that
won this
30-minute
race
mark.
in
Gil and Wellington.
2018. He streams Pokemon on Twitch. I've watched him a bunch of times, and he is a very fast steeplechaser and 3K runner from UNH many years ago.
7 to go.
But let's
7
bring
to
us
go
back
for
to
Gil and Wellington.
the leaders in the men's race. Where are they? There they are.
So you think Riley's on her 15th lap now? 15 laps into the 10K.
She's coming around and it's 60.
Yeah.
68.
Did you guys see the 7K split for the men's leaders?
No.
21:03.
Okay, so they're 21:03 at the 7K.
Oh yeah, they're slowing down.
So that basically maintained the amount they'd slowed down, I think, from 5K to 6K, 6K to 7K. But I still think they could have it in them. They are slowing down, so they're probably feeling a little more comfortable right now, so that they might pick it back up at the end to break 30.
Gil continuing to lead from Wellington.
I believe they're approaching 7 to go. I think. No, 6 to go.
That is 6 to go for them. Women's leader Riley McMahon, we believe, is passing through 15 laps right now. We believe that is 6K split for her.
Both our women's leader and our men's leaders in the camera field, in the frame. But it still is a race for the men's 10K title.
And there's now a pack of 4 guys competing for 3rd place. Just went through with 6 to go there.
This is our 3rd place pack.
A little more than 200 meters behind the leaders at this point. Or maybe about 200 meters.
Still running a pretty good pace.
Yeah.
You know, in the high 30 range.
In that second pack of men, I think it's Michael McGonigal from Heartbeat, Thomas Toth from
Leaders as they have been
BAA,
for the entirety of the
Cameron
race.
Dixon
Keeps the
from
rabbit pulled off.
Tracksmith,
Gill and
and
Wellington.
Jordan
8,000
Fannin.
meters, 24:10.
So it's
A little bit short of 5 miles. 20 laps done.
24:10 through the
Come on, Coach Riley!
through the 8K.
You're a beast!
Riley McMahon from Battle Road Track Club coming around.
I know!
I have 500 megabytes of that. No, it's roaming. That's like 37. Let's go, Brizzy! Okay? I've never seen him like that.
And our men's leader is approaching 4 laps to go.
And as they approach, 4 to go, Wellington
Looks like
taking
Wellington's
over the
in the lead
lead from
again.
Gill. This is the final mile,
Starting
if you will, of
to
this
get some distance on him, actually.
6.2-mile race.
Looks like that last lap was a 74, so
And it looks like Wellington's making a little bit of a
picking it up
move.
again. But Gill is closing that gap. He wants to stick with him.
And at this point in the race, you really want to you're toughing it out. It's not much left compared to how long you've been running.
Yeah, the end is near.
There's actually some excitement over here
Looks like Thomas Toth
in
from
the
BAA
chase
moves up
pack.
into 3rd place.
8 to go for the women's leader, Riley McMahon from Battle
And we
Road.
have the women's leader here as well.
Wellington is trying to stretch Gill out now, trying to
Let's
pull
go
away
back to our
from him.
men's leaders.
Not want it to come down to a final lap sprint.
As Wellington pulls ahead of Gill.
Yeah, now looking at about a 20-meter gap from 1st to 2nd.
Yeah, that was quite the move that Wellington
Way to
made in that
go.
lap.
Men's leader now Wellington.
And we're gonna approach the 9K mark as we get to the beginning of the next turn. Give us a sense of what pace they're running.
About 27:12, I'd say, at 9K. For our leader.
So they're a bit
Wellington.
off. They'll need to pick it up if they want to break 30.
Yeah, I think
27
he's running
flat would be the
maybe 73,
30 flat
74
pace.
up front. So that's close to getting closer to 3 flat per kilometer.
But you have to get
Women's leader
under
McMahon with 7 to
to
go.
catch back up on the pacing.
Wellington with 800 to go, 2 laps left,
Gained a lot of
27:48.
distance on Gill.
Yeah.
Gill about 5 seconds in arrears.
200. Yeah, 2 laps to go though. This is the time to start